Hello everyone. I have with me CA Final AIR 5 Keshav Garodiya. Many congratulations, Keshav, and a fabulous achievement. So, how has been your one day from the time you got your results and you saw that AIR 5?
Exhilarating. That is the word, probably. I mean, it's like non-stop, just calls, messages, and कहाँ से like news पता चल जाता है लोगों को. I don't even understand, but it spreads like wildfire. And yeah, I think like finally now I feel we like for the past 1 and 2 hours I've had some space to breathe. Till then it's just non-stop. Actually, like even today in the morning, I went to a school. Actually, they invited me to give like a small pep talk or whatever,
Hmm.
and that was also yeah, fun,
That's
everything.
really good. That's
Yeah.
but enjoy your moment in the limelight right now. So it's a
Yeah, it's gonna last this long.
I'm sure, I'm sure. So, I mean, I'll just want to take everyone just a step back and I want you to share about your journey as well. Like, I understand that while you were preparing, you had a few kind of setbacks in your family and still you manage your journey. So, run us through with in your mindset that how did you, what happened, how did you kind of navigate it, and how did you get that strength to go out and give your best?
So like it starts like in my study break. So second month of my study break, it's in August, and my granddad, my Dada, he went into the hospital. It was like normal because like he has diabetes since many years and a lot of like comorbidity factors. So he was in and out of the hospital often, and it was like another routine thing. It was just like cold cough fever, and he went into the hospital, came out, and it was around Rakhi, uh, and I didn't go and meet him. I wanted to. I asked, and they said like, "Oh, he's just come back home today, so he's probably tired and everything. Let's meet him like in a few days more." And then on the day of Rakhi, I was like, no, I don't want to go to a family function. Everything like, yeah, study break hai, CA final hai, so chalu hai, so I'm not going there. And yeah, so like that was the opportunity where I could have met him, uh, and I didn't do that. And then on August of 19th, he passed away. He went back into the hospital again. And when I got the news, like there was something like inside me which spoke that, oh, like something feels off. He's gone into the hospital again. And at night around 2 a.m. or so, I was just finishing with my lectures, and uh, I heard my mom and dad like making noise in their room, and I just like they didn't have to come and tell me. I just knew. So I went outside, I asked what happened. They told me what has happened. I was the first big death in my family. Hadn't had an experience like this before. So that weighed heavy, losing him, uh, and for a while it was just a struggle to care. That like all of the rest seems smaller, and
Correct.
there's also this guilt factor, which is like it's not practical, and there's never like you can never say I spent enough time with them. There's no concept like that. But it feels, yeah, like I could have gone that day. And I have wasted 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 days. I've wasted so many days on like stupid things. So I could have gone to that, but I didn't, and that weighs on you. So I had to deal with that guilt, and there was also like this feeling of like what kind of society do we live in, like where we create these expectations where like even our grandparents, they would also be like, yaar nahi theek hai, mata kar padhai kar raha hai, acha acha, don't meet us, and it's fine. So it was like about navigating all of that. Some of the things which helped is obviously like I'm very much into philosophy. That helped uh, throughout the whole thing. I was reading Gita. I was reading chapter two, Vivekananda's version. That provided a source of comfort, even though I'm sort of agnostic. But just like the whole Vedanta philosophy, it was a source of solace for me, and that gave me the strength to, um, you know, keep trudging on. And that was the time of my audit lecture, so I was just like breezing through audit, and yeah. So this happened in August. Recovered again in September. Sort of tried to get back on track. And in October, my nana, he was on dialysis, and his body stopped responding to the treatment. So he made a end of life decision. He was like, I want to stop dialysis. And like the moment he decided that, we all knew that okay, this is over now. Like it's a matter of when, not if. And that also again like started weighing on me. And this time I was certain, like, okay, I'm gonna go and meet him for sure. And I went, I met him. Luckily, like fortunately, that day, so he was so sick that he was not talking with anyone. He was not really responding. He was just lying in bed. He was so much in pain. That day when I went to visit him, he just lit up, and something I he just got this strength inside him. And I had a very great time with him that day. He was actually a child actor. So my Nana's dad, he was an actor. He worked in a bunch of Bollywood movies, and my Nana also, as a child, he worked in Bollywood movies. So he never talks about it, but that day he talked about it. He showed me his movies on the TV, and he told me like he was reminiscing about those days when how he loved to be on the set and how he loved that whole environment. And his love of acting was there with him throughout his life. I've seen him in many plays and all things, but like just like hearing him talk about that, that was very exciting. We got my cousin in, मैं उसको छेड़ रहा था कि like कितनी girlfriend बनाई college में and all, and like my Nana also joined in. He was like कभी घर पे बुला बेटा, and we all laughed. It was like such a beautiful, beautiful moment that I will always cherish. And in November, Nana passed away. That time I was so broken up. I felt like I cannot go to his funeral again. I cannot go through the whole, like seeing everyone grieve and seeing that whole thing draw out again. I felt like it would uh, not be the best thing. But then, like it again, after the exams ended, sort of like the whole thing came again that, oh, maybe I should have gone. Why didn't I go again? Because like they say that it gives the soul rest if your descendants are there, and especially during certain days of the last rites and so on. And uh, like who knows, even if there's like a 0.1% chances to, like, why couldn't I have just gone and done that? Why couldn't I have found that strength within me? These are the sorts of questions which sometimes come and plague me. uh, so what helped was, Teddy Roosevelt actually, he had this quote where he said that duty takes you out of the toughest situations. And I sort of made it my duty. Like this is like my Dada was used to be so excited whenever any thing, like any achievement happened within the family. He was a man who like lived in his family's achievements, and if anything good is happening, I remember my inter result. He told everyone. He is calling people up. Anyone's coming to our house, he's telling them. He just like that's a great week for him because it's a happening week. Like he has something to talk about. Otherwise, it's just monotonous. So whenever anything like this happens, it's so great for him. And I felt like the best thing I could give him is like working my ass off and sorry for the expression. So
That's
just
fine.
working as hard as I can for this exam, and just getting the best result possible within the circumstances to maybe honor his legacy. Maybe like tell him, Dadu, aapke liye kiya maine.
That's fantastic, and it's so inspiring. And I mean, the fact that you could take out the time, learn from what, let's say, you did something in, let's say, with your Dadaji and with your Nanaji, you kind of rectified it, and probably you kind of use that as a force to kind of prepare better, as well as kind of I'm sure you have done a very, very good job. And so I mean, tell me, so after November you hardly had a month or month and a half. How did you kind of get back, and how did you pace up your preparations across your subjects across your study leave?
So where do you want me to start? Like for the whole study leave or
Whole
like the
study leave, you can just, so you can just pace up on what, how
yeah.
did you manage your studies during the entire study leave?
So the thing is, I didn't get a lot of time to revise. I had 3 months, a little bit more than 3 months. So from I believe 20th of September, I finished with my indirect tax lectures. That was the last subject. So 20th of September, I started it, and then I lost about a week or so because of the whole November thing. Uh, so in between that period, it's like 3 months and change,
Hmm.
whatever. I got two whole revisions done
In three
properly
months. Okay.
in 3 months. Uh, I think 15 days for FR and 10 days or so for the rest for the first revision,
Okay.
and 60% of that for the second one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And what I did was like use the a lot of study techniques, which maybe we can discuss more sometime, some other time. But like uh, forgetting curves especially is a very important concept that I used to layer my revision. So if I've done a subject, so say I've taken up FR and I've done a like I did a consolidation today. So what I'll do is tomorrow, whatever sums I had a problem with, I'll just go through those sums again.
Hmm.
And then, like a week back, when I'm picking up the next subject, so if I picked up AFM, uh, an hour during that day, I'll go through those FR chapters. So like एक दिन करके, I'm trying to layer that so that like the efficiency and the effectiveness of doing it at the right time is very high. So the time cost, if you delay that revision,
Hmm.
it's going to take a lot more time to gain back that same level of acuity in that particular chapter, that particular topic.
Okay.
But if you do that revision earlier, when that forgetting curve, before that forgetting curve is fully eroded, not only are you going to make that topic, that your hold over it stronger, it's going to be done in way lesser time. So
Okay.
say I can do it in 1 hour if I do it within the before the forgetting curve slope, the gradient declines rapidly. Before that, if I revise it, I can do it in 1 hour. After that, it'll take me a whole day. So it's like
So, but
that big of
what is that? Sorry, but what is that ideal time before, I mean, that curve
a
declines or?
So I think everyone has to figure it for themselves. For
Okay.
practical topics, I think 1 day, 1 week, and then 2 weeks is sufficient. So like three revisions afterwards for
Okay.
practical topics. For theory topics, especially something like audit, and especially like memorization is particularly hard for me.
Hmm.
So I used to do like the same day, then the next day, then after the 4 days, then after a week, and then I used to keep doing it like every week after a week intervals. And if I felt really confident, then I could give like a 2 week gap in that, and in between, then I can add another subject there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's quite a different strategy as compared to the average strategy, which is always doing a revision, then doing a late. So you're suggesting that someone should try to layer it by doing 1 hour. But if I do it for all the six subjects, how will I be able to manage?
No, so like you have one primary subject and you have one secondary subject.
Okay,
So the
so you're doing
secondary
two subjects
subject,
in a day.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So like 12 hours I'm doing the primary subject, 1 hour I'm doing the secondary subject.
okay, okay,
Something like
okay,
that, yeah.
okay. And did you do a lot of writing practice as well during your?
Definitely. I need that because I tend to make silly mistakes. So like especially in things which are procedural, So say something like a consolidation question. It's like it's a very sorted format. ये ऐसा है, ये step 1 step 2 step 3 ऐसे करके उसको पूरा करना है, you know. And what I worked on really hard is, तो मैंने तो ना like I used to note down and go through like mentally just the steps, just the process that okay मैंने ऐसे लिया, मैंने ऐसे balance sheet बनाया, like visualizing it in my head, sort of like going through the routine of it and really fixing in on that routine, that I'm not going to break that routine, because I've seen even with few of my other peers and all, that वो क्या करते हैं ना कि बीच बीच में समझ आ रहा है एंड फिर वो कोई एडजस्टमेंट देख लेते हैं, फिर वो पहले उनको लगता है चलो एडजस्टमेंट कर लेते हैं एंड बाद में ये कर लेंगे, एंड देन हौच पौच हो जाता है, इसलिए मिस आउट होता है, बिकॉज इफ यू आर गोइंग in the set order, there is no chance that it won't tally. Maybe you might get an adjustment wrong, but it's going to tally. एंड मेरा वही हुआ, सो लाइक एफआर के अंदर मेरा जो कंसोलिडेशन का समय वो टैली हुआ, आई फिनिश द होल पेपर, आई गेव ऑल्टरनेटिव आंसर्स फॉर आई थिंक 3 और सो क्वेश्चंस, तो 3 क्वेश्चन का ऑल्टरनेटिव दिया, पूरा पेपर फिनिश किया एंड कंसोलिडेशन टैली भी किया.
Finishing this paper was a task, huh? It's
Yeah.
really good thing because ये काफी लंबा paper था and a lot of students found it. So, is that because you were doing regular writing
Yeah.
practice as well as getting
I
the
had
steps in order?
I had a physical stopwatch. So I think like everybody is writing is like a simple thing ki, I don't think it's like the speed of your hand, it's the speed of your mind. And the speed of your mind is affected by just how many times you've gone through that same thing, right? जो
Correct.
like people जो रूबिक क्यूब सॉल्व करते हैं, पहले बार करते हैं बहुत स्लो होता है, वो बार बार करते रहते हैं, so like they gain a lot of speed in it. The same thing here is just a procedural thing. You do it again and again. FR में तो especially I will say कि like FR has a very set pattern. You're going to get a 14-mark question, then question 2 you're going to get a 10-mark question, then a 4-mark question, and it's like there are repetitive questions mostly. This paper was a little bouncer paper. इसमें they didn't ask for journal entries or something. They asked for treatments. You had to describe theory. That was like completely unexpected. So that was different. But like apart from that, and most of the papers, you know what you're going to get. And मैंने ऐसे लिस्ट बना दिया था कि these are like the 15-20 different questions जो आएंगे. Because 8-mark के questions बहुत सारे नहीं है. In every chapter, like there are very limited 8-mark questions that they can ask.
Correct.
There are a lot of small questions, but वो पूछ नहीं सकते वो लोग एग्जाम में, because that's not the how the paper pattern is. So like I did those small questions once, but after that I'm just focusing on the big questions and solving them again and again, so that I build up that speed. Because if I'm not solving 100 marks, I cannot score above 60.
Correct.
So it was just that logic कि यार बार बार practice करो. Some people have it कि उनको sums practice ही नहीं करने पड़ते. They just like they'll watch a lecture and उनके दिमाग में बैठ गया. Some people are like me, they're a little slow, so we need to do it by hand again and again. So it's just about like recognizing what are your strengths, where you lack, and just working on that. Don't try to take a shortcut on the work. वो जो work है, like do that.
Okay. So you covered all chapters. You did not focus on doing an A chapter or a B chapter or a C chapter, but within the chapters, you went on into identifying that these are the testable questions for 8 marks and focusing more over there, right?
Yeah. So once like the revision period started, revision period ke pehle, like when I'm doing the lectures, even though I did it in a very short time, it was always like getting the concepts right, understanding everything, not leaving out anything. तभी कुछ ABC नहीं सोचना है. But as soon as the study break started and like the revision started, I'm completely focused on like मैं कोई भी सब्जेक्ट को रिविजन उठाने के पहले मैं उसके 4 पेपर देख रहा था. 4 पेपर में कैसे क्वेश्चंस आए हैं, क्या पैटर्न है, मैं एक नोटबुक में या एक्सेल में प्लॉट कर रहा हूँ. ऐसे ऐसे ये तरह के क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं, ये चैप्टर से आ रहे हैं, ये मार्क्स के लिए आ रहे हैं, एंड ट्राइंग टू फाइंड द पैटर्न. एंड एफआर में पैटर्न है, ऑडिट एएफएम में नहीं है. एफआर में पैटर्न है, देन डीटी में पैटर्न है, आईडीटी में पैटर्न है, और वो एकदम पैटर्न के हिसाब से ही पूछते हैं. सो लाइक you need to put in that work. Don't rely on faculties ki yaar inste they'll give us whatever. Just the work, identify and identify the types of questions that can be asked.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's good. And did you write proper mock tests or you were more focused on solving the material which is there?
both. I wrote mock tests as well,
Okay.
and I did like writing practice as well.
Okay. And
Yeah.
when you were preparing, did you prepare your own notes for FR or you were referring to like our material, or how did you go ahead in summarizing this big subject?
So for FR, I use your notes, but for the theory,
Hmm.
I made my own notes in Notion.
Hmm. Okay.
So for theory, for FR, for even the AFM theory part,
Hmm.
all of the subjects the theory part and all of audit. So
Hmm.
बेसिकली मैंने क्या किया कि चैप्टर खोल लिया, उसमें देखा कि अच्छा ये क्वेश्चंस बन सकते हैं, एक एक करके क्वेश्चन मेमोराइज किया टू द पॉइंट की आई एम फीलिंग लाइक ओके दिस मैक्सिमम कैपेसिटी व्हिच वाज अराउंड 6-7 क्वेश्चंस एट अ टाइम मेरे से मेमोराइज हो रहे हैं.
Hmm.
Then from my memory, I'm plotting it in Notion. Then the same day, I'm revising that again through free recall. मतलब मैं खाली question देखूंगा, I'm recalling the 4 points, 5 points, whatever in my head. Then I'm opening it, checking it. If I'm getting anything wrong, then closing it again, then again recalling it. So like it
Correct.
was a very mechanical process. It was brutal to do it, but I stayed with it throughout.
No, but that's, I mean, you have gone through it in a very, very systematic and a very organized manner. And maybe to someone who's listening to this, it is both a little aspiring as well as a little intimidating because it's very, very cleanly done, very well done, and the results are in front of everyone. And if possible, we would love to have another session where we can probably discuss this in a little more detail
Yeah,
because maybe it warrants a little more time.
yeah,
But you have, from what I can understand, you've done it in very methodological and you've kind of
yeah,
clinically approached the papers.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And I mean, so during this study leave, I mean, how did you manage maybe your distractions, social media? How did you manage all of that? Were there
So
times where you felt that you don't want to give this exam, you want to go into the next attempt, or?
I mean, like when my Dada passed away and Nana passed away, both of those times I was considering it.
Hmm.
But in the end, just the thought that I'd have to study for 4 more months, that made me like okay, like I leave CA अगर मेरे को 4 महीना और पढ़ना पड़े तो मैं CA ही छोड़ दूंगा. So I was like नहीं ये तो नहीं होने वाला. Uh, and because of that, it was like decided कि Jan 26 तो देना ही है.
Hmm.
Uh, Coming to the distraction point, I was very clear about it that matlab, not just for the exams point of view, I've just like left Instagram in general, even YouTube I use in a very limited manner. And that's actually, it fits in with my whole life philosophy where I think that मैं कोई भी चीज में अगर मेरा टाइम दे रहा हूँ, so what is that giving back to me? And
Hmm.
I think, there are some experiences where when you're doing that experience, you feel that, oh, wow, it went by like this. But afterwards, you can recall it a lot. It's like travel, may you're on
Hmm.
a trip, like the trip goes by so fast,
Hmm.
but it gives you memories for a lifetime.
Hmm.
But at the same time, there's something like, like you're waiting in the airport lounge and it like feels like the time is endless, but you never remember that afterwards.
Hmm.
So either like you're living that time in the moment, or you're living it in your retrospective memories.
Hmm.
But the problem with these new modes of just pleasuring ourselves through these Skinner boxes design, uh, social media, all these apps, the issue is that when you're in that moment, it goes by rapidly, and
Hmm.
then if you're looking back, you can't recall it again either.
Hmm.
So you're burning the candle at both ends. And it's like you have a finite life. If there's one thing is that your time on this planet is finite. So wouldn't you want to maximize this time?
Correct, correct.
And if you're burning it away on both ends, तुम ऐसे भी नहीं जी रहे हो, तुम ऐसे भी नहीं जी रहे हो यार. So
No, that's really
like,
good.
the moment I realized this, I was
Hmm.
like, okay, I need to leave it. And it's like a 2 week period where you feel like, oh, I want to be on this, but then it goes away. And
I currently don't think I'm speaking to one of my students. You seem to be well way over your kind of your wisdom is really good and over your age, but go ahead.
No, and another thing I would say ki sometimes people feel ki, we'll not be able to stay in touch with our friends and whatever.
Hmm.
I found that leaving social media helped me deepen my friendships because like the
Hmm.
people who I really care about, मैं उनको सामने से मैसेज कर रहा हूँ, सामने से कॉल कर रहा हूँ, and I'm really talking with them. अभी
Hmm.
कम्युनिकेशन क्या हो गया कि अच्छा रील भेजा उसको रिएक्ट किया, रील भेजा उसको रिएक्ट किया. That's not
Correct, correct,
communication,
correct, correct.
So like getting back to like real proper texting, getting back to real proper calls and conversation, that enriched my life more,
So you're off social media irrespective of CA.
irrespective of see. Like abhi bhi mera Instagram, people are not gonna find it.
Okay, okay.
It's not
Chalo,
there
that's
enough.
really good. And I mean, in case, I mean, let's say when we look at FR as well,
Hmm.
FR is a fairly big subject. One is you
Yeah.
have helped us quite well in terms of the revision, but a lot of times students face difficulty in just completing the sheer scale of the subject. So how did you manage to watch those lectures, complete everything? What did you do?
I don't know. I just did it.
So you're watching one lecture a day, five lecture. Did you keep a specific target while?
I made an Excel tracker and I probably like changed it n number of times. So I just tried to do as much as I could in a day.
Hmm. Hmm.
I did keep specific targets. I tried to meet those targets because I decided कि अच्छा ये डेट तक complete करना है FR के lectures
Hmm.
and वो हिसाब से कर लिया कि per day का target क्या होना चाहिए, you know,
Okay.
and like weekends के लिए अलग, weekdays के लिए अलग, ऐसे ऐसे whatever. तो वो बना लिया है.
Hmm.
But you're not able to meet it some days and then you have to revise it, whatever. You try to do it as much as you can.
Hmm.
So it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. You
Hmm.
have to remember that you can't be disappointed like, yeah, ek din I'm not able to meet my targets. You can cover it up, people are not running at the same pace throughout. If
Hmm.
anyone's into running, they'll know ki, the pace varies and you can catch up later on.
Hmm.
Some people start strong, some people finish strong.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, during your journey, what are those three skills or traits that you thought really helped you apart from what is there in the books to kind of get your desired result?
Three skills or traits.
Or
Um,
anything, not just three, any one or two things that you think really helped you.
I think being like lazy intelligent sort of helped me because I'd rather spend a lot of time strategizing how to do it in the least effort manner rather than just like beginning with it. And I think that is what helped me the most
Hmm.
because I built my whole study system and I was sort of able to do the whole revision in 3 months with some pretty big like uh, you know uh, periods of not being able to study in between. So like managing to complete that in 3 months, I honestly did not like before the exam started. I was like, okay, I'm not getting a as the exams went on, I was feeling good about it. Like मैं तो AFM के पेपर के बाद I was like okay wow like 95 आएगा शायद
बट
because एक
पेपर्स तो काफी टफ थे नहीं दिस टाइम?
papers tough थे but
हम्म.
I felt good about them.
ओके.
I just had a good feeling.
ओके.
मैंने किसमें भी उतने मार्क्स स्कोर नहीं किए जितने मैंने सोचे थे तो वो अलग बात है. मतलब AFM में आई फेल्ट कि एक सो AFM में क्या हो गया था. अच्छा AFM फॉर द AFM पेपर स्पेसिफिकली आई वांट टू से दिस. I did 350 questions, more or less, in the 1.5 day,
ओके.
which no one covers.
वेरी डिफिकल्ट.
I covered that. Okay, मतलब मैं तो थर्ड से लेके 13 तक I just slept 2 hours a day
ओके.
for that whole period and like and that's actually not good. वो नहीं करना चाहिए. But the thing is like if you are doing 3 revisions then you're able to cut down that time. But I knew कि 2 revisions so I'm not going to be able to cut down that time. तो मेरे को 2 महीने पहले से पता था. तो मैंने वो हिसाब से मेरा लाइक आई बिल्ट अ होल सप्लीमेंट स्टैक फॉर माई सेल्फ कि हाउ डू आई फोर्टिफाई माई ब्रेन टू बी एबल टू फंक्शन ड्यूरिंग दैट पीरियड एज वेल. So I was like taking 8 9 different supplements
ओके.
and like before the exams I had this like itne time pehle I have to take 100 mg of caffeine with theanine and you know
उससे अच्छा एक रिवीजन ज्यादा कर देना चाहिए एंड यू कैन स्लीप वेल आई बिलीव.
अभी वो कहाँ से लाता मैं टाइम, like
I know, I know.
going back, I would not recommend anyone to
Correct,
do that.
correct, correct, correct.
But yeah, I think we got off topic. So what I
Hmm.
was saying is कि uh, AFM में especially, I think like
Hmm.
it's a small subject, and उसमें भी if you are doing ABC analysis and you're leaving out questions, I would say at least for AFM. So FR ka, that I told that you focus on certain questions because FR is a different subject. It's more predictable, the paper.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
AFM, they're asking 5 mark questions. It's not like you can't say कि कैसे तरह का question वो लोग
Hmm.
design करेंगे. So you have to cover everything, you know. And AFM, I had taken classes from another faculty, but in the end, I had taken, like, I had ordered your books
Hmm.
and I had referred your books throughout. And मैंने request भी किया था आपके कि मेरे को like please वो doubt solving इसमें add कर दो करके.
Okay,
I
okay.
requested them because I have not taken the classes. Please consider that. So they very graciously allowed me into that as well. Uh, and yeah, so like what I did was ki I marked every unique question that's there.
Hmm.
Okay. And I've cut down on the repetitive questions and the questions which are too basic and too easy.
Hmm.
Apart from that, every unique question I marked and I've gone like, ye mere ko, it needs to go through my eyes
Hmm.
before the exam.
Okay.
Because some questions in AFM they have some ambiguity, like
Hmm.
there are certain like hidden assumptions that you have to make and you have to
Hmm.
operate in that way. So it's just not possible that you don't see that and go in the exam and you'll get it right. That's not going to happen.
Correct.
अगर आपको ABC analysis type कुछ करना भी है, if you feel like you can't cover the whole thing,
Hmm.
what I would rather recommend is that you leave out a chapter rather than leave out certain questions within a chapter. Because
Okay.
like chapters का weightage more or less fixed होता है, so
Hmm.
like if you're not studying for a rank, so you can go कि हाँ ठीक है, मतलब मैंने 10 मार्क का छोड़ा हुआ है, so I know कि हाँ ठीक है वो 10 मार्क से maybe अगर easy question आ गया तो I'll be able to solve it, बाकी I won't be able to solve it. But if you're leaving things within the chapters and then वो chapter के अंदर से वो tough वाले questions आ गए, then you're screwed.
Hmm. Hmm.
So at least like based on the weightage, the percentage of the syllabus that you are completing, make sure कि उसके अंदर any question that comes from any corner, you are able to
Hmm.
solve.
Hmm.
Because honestly, like there were not any questions which were new
Correct,
in the
correct. They were
syllabus.
not LDR. They were
They
more
were
of
not LDR.
like the sharp optimal
Yeah,
portfolio, etc. is all there,
correct.
but they are not very important ones and
Yeah, so
things.
so like people skip on those, and the only thing that was a bit difficult was the theory thing.
Hmm.
They gave theory from like the non-theory chapters,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
core
Hmm.
theory chapters that उसके अलावा से उन्होंने theory दे
Hmm.
दिया था. तो that was a bit disappointing वो देख के कि यार एक तो मेरे को चिढ़ हुआ कि मैंने इतना मेहनत किया वो theory रटने में उधर से नहीं पूछा and यहाँ से पूछ लिया. But yeah, so I like that. वो 4 marks का मेरा गलत गया था. Apart from that, I felt very confident out of the paper. And मैं उठा ऐसे देखा लोग रो रहे हैं. मैं बोला भाई क्या हो गया?
No, no, it was in general, I would say,
Yeah,
a not so common AFM paper usually.
exactly. But so like this is the thing, right? I think like why are you taking that risk with trying to predict ICA?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Like you're taking a gamble with your examination, right?
Hmm.
So matlab, and if you want to be strategic about it, like go with this approach, like remove the chapter so you know at least कि ये इतना weightage है तो वो मेरा covered है कि मैं 70 marks का पेपर आंसर कर पाऊंगा and
Hmm.
उसमें से I'll be able to score 50.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
डोंट गो दिस वे कि यार मतलब मैंने सब चैप्टर में से बीच बीच में से कुछ किया है एंड
Hmm.
देन इफ समथिंग एल्स कम्स इन द एग्जाम यू आर स्क्रूड.
Okay.
या
Okay. I guess you have kind of given a lot of your inputs, and uh, I guess that's broadly it. Any fleeting thoughts or leaving thoughts you would like to leave the students with who are looking at you and probably are inspiring to do what you have achieved?
no, I would say like one thing, like I just want to express my like deep admiration for the way you have taught. I have enjoyed your lectures so much. Matlab, like because the way you go about it, you don't leave any concept. Maybe I think what I recall is hedge accounting में maybe we didn't go that much in depth,
Hmm.
and that I understand. वो फिर
Hmm.
बाद में मैंने खुद से ही कर लिया जाके हेज अकाउंटिंग. तो
Hmm.
मैंने तो एफआर में पूरा मॉड्यूल भी पढ़ा था
Hmm. Hmm.
तभी
Hmm.
लेक्चर्स के साथ साथ में. So but like you had covered everything and you had explained how the whole system for financial reporting works. So just like it's very enjoyable to see how it all happens, how it all fits together, how it all functions. And with like, if you begin with the end objective in mind, that I want to achieve a fair presentation, how NDS is managing to get that,
Hmm.
it's very beautiful and elegant sort of. So
Thanks
I
a lot.
thoroughly enjoyed that, and you provided that experience while going through that subject.
Thank you very much. Means a lot.
Yes,
But
sir.
thanks a lot, Keshav. Otherwise, I'm very, very happy that you got what you definitely deserve. Now that I speak to you, the way that you have managed all that was thrown at you, and still you could come out stronger. It is because you've planned it well, you have done it quite clinically, and maybe I would love to have another session where we can just help students in those revision techniques where I think you have done a lot of reading. So maybe that is for another time. But till then, I'll let you enjoy, have this, and let this moment remain with you, and enjoy, and wish you all the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
See you later.
Bye.